Hey guys, I have a fun layout featuring hidden photos for your back to school photos. Here is a quick look at that and the interactive element on this layout, as well as one other interactive element for my hidden journaling. This is a video collaboration with the creative design team, and I am almost bringing up the rear. I hope you've enjoyed the videos so far. So I am using the Smarty Pants collection from Close to My Heart, and I am starting off with a couple of pattern papers mounted on some sapphire cardstock. I am going to put my base onto my Versamat and pull out my T-ruler so I can make sure that this little corkboard piece is not only centered but straight across the bottom. So I'm going to make sure that's straight and then go ahead and rub that down so that tape adhesive can really adhere it down. And then I am going to pull out the interactive part. Now I did create a Cricut design space file. I am going to try to share that with you in the description. It's using basic shapes, so you shouldn't need any of the digital collections that I also used. Now I am using just some thin 3D foam tape to adhere on 3 of the edges, and this is going to allow me to have that interaction. So I'm going to place that down onto my prepared layout base. Again, I am matting it with that sapphire cardstock just to kind of stay consistent. So I wanted some pops of color. Now in the Smarty Pants collection, there are several zip strips. I'm really liking this one that's kind of color blocked out and in a rainbow, I guess, pattern. So I put that up at the top, and then I am just taking off the adhesive backing from the thin 3D foam tape, and then I will adhere this little photo strip down on top. You'll notice that there's the sapphire cardstock at the bottom of this photo strip, as well as at the top of that zip strip, matches the other little bitty pieces of the sapphire mat. There will be a 4x6, could be a photo. I'm going to use it for my title. So I've pulled out the right page, and you guys know that I like to embellish once my pages are all done. So I have this cut, and I'm going to just make a tick mark at 2.5 inches. Now this is an 8x12. And that's going to allow me to do a diagonal cut from that 2.5 inch tick mark down to that bottom piece. And then it's just going to add some interest here. Now I don't need to waste all of this word search, so I just line those up and cut that bottom portion off, and then I can adhere this down to that sapphire cardstock. Now this corkboard diagonal piece, it actually goes edge to edge 12 inches. And then I want to bring over that colorful zip strip as well. So I just had one little piece left. So you saw me trim that. Now I trimmed it because I'm going to have some 4x6 photo mats that will actually hide that blank spot that was created by it not being a full 12x12. So I'm lining those up and then going to just trim off the excess, and then I can start laying down the 4x6 photo mats. Again, these are landscape. I'm going to go ahead and put those down. Now, I did want to tell you that this layout's a little bit different than what I usually share, because I usually share completed layouts. This one, however, is going to not have the photos on it quite yet. I'm planning on using the photos from this year, and I just don't have those yet. So this little backpack element is actually a metal die. We call them thin cuts, and it actually is still available. So I'll have it linked down below. It can be used for many things. It can be used for a gift card holder, a card. Just makes the cutest little backpacks. If you didn't want to put the other elements on it, it could be a luggage tag. Just tons and tons of things to do with this metal die. So I've added some pattern paper just to that flap, and then I have this, it makes it, I think it's like composition pattern. That's going to be the tab at the top and then the little side pockets. I'm going to adhere that down with some liquid adhesive. And then also the pocket on the front of the backpack is that same pattern. And I am going to use just liquid adhesive to adhere this big pocket. And then I am going to apply some 3D foam tape to the little pocket flap, just for some dimension, just to kind of add that little something something. And again, peeling off the backing to that and then just centering it over that little pocket. This thin cut also comes with a nameplate, so I've just cut that in the peach cardstock and I'm going to adhere that down as well. Probably going to stamp that at a later date. Really not sure if I want to do initials or the actual name. And then also don't know if this layout is going to be just of my daughter or my daughter and my son. So here's where I decide to use this title. Now this title actually is School Days. It's one of our digital cuts. It's only $1. I'll leave it linked down below. I've left out the O's. In this case, the title actually had an apple for the O's, and then it also had a globe. So I've left those off, and I'm going to play with the sticker sheet of the Smarty Pants collection. I do want to add some dimension to this, so I've pulled out, again, that 3D foam tape, and then I am going to play with just some regular circles. This is the same pattern paper that I used on the front of that backpack. I'm going to go ahead and adhere down the School Days. Now, in Cricut, I did do an offset feature just to kind of make that title pop. And then I've put some of the stickers down on my anti-static pouch to kind of take the stickiness off. And I'm going to add some 3D foam tape to these stickers. Really not sure if I'll use all these stickers yet, but sometimes it's just easier to go ahead and add the 3D foam tape now, and then later I can figure that out. If I don't use them, they're at least in my stash. I'm going to use those books right there, and then I'm trying to figure out what am I going to use for the O's. I kind of had an idea of what I was going to use, but then once I started pulling out the stickers and all of that, kind of changed my mind. So you'll see me play with this quite a bit here, but I definitely want to get it right. So here's a look at the sticker sheet. Now the sticker sheet is not available any longer, but I wanted to go ahead and show you that the sticker sheet had these little definitions. There's teacher, there's class, there's homework, there's a whole bunch of things. So I've picked out 3 of those, and I'm just making sure that they're not sticky on the places that hang over the photo wells. So from that icon piece that I just shared with you, since you don't have the sticker sheet, it has a lot of cute little icons that you could cut out. So I've cut out some hearts and then some other flashcards that I'll use on the right layout. I've decided on that globe and that star, and then I've decided to go ahead and add some white gel pen to this mocha cardstock that is on my title. I love the look of that white gel pen. So I am going to also add some interactive elements behind this little pull tab. So I've added a sticker, and then I am thinking that I also want a sticker on the actual pull tab. So it's not just photo, photo, photo. So I've pulled out this round sticker, trying to figure out how this is going to work. And finally, I realized that I actually need to apply it to the strip itself. I didn't want the white edge of that sticker to kind of blend in, so I am using a journaling pen, and I am just going around the inside of that little hole or that little square. I'm kind of making a hand-drawn doodle line. And from there, I will take that round sticker and actually adhere down to that strip, and that's going to allow it to easily slide in and out to be that interactive element. So now I'm going to start embellishing this right layout. So I brought the circle back over, and then there's that little icon that I cut out, those little flashcards. And then I'm going to adhere down this backpack. That backpack is actually going to be some hidden journaling. This is one of my favorite things to do, is hide the journaling. That way my kids or my family, once I'm gone and they inherit these scrapbooks, they can definitely pull on things and read those, and those are kind of like only for them. So I'm trying to find a place to put this sticker. I'm liking it up over that top photo. So I'm going to add some 3D foam tape just to the top. Being that I'm not adding my photos yet, I don't want that bottom portion to be sticky. So I've decided to put it over on the left. And then I want to bring in some more color with the zip strips. So there's this fun zip strip that has these stars. So I'm just going to cut the zip strip in half because only a little bit of the stars are going to show anyway. And I'm going to actually use 2 stars on the right of that little pennant and then 1 on the left. And I'm just going to use some liquid adhesive to adhere those down. And then you guys know that what I do to one side, I like to do to the other. So I'm going to bring that left layout back in and go ahead and find a place to put that star zip strip on it as well. And I think the perfect place would kind of be under the zip strip. And I'm going to straddle those 2 little photos, the one that's actually going to have a photo and then the one where I put that circle sticker in. I'm going to add some journaling strips that you can actually read the journaling up on this little circle. I love to use circles as anchoring spots for journaling or embellishments. So I really liked doing this with these journaling strips that are cut from cardstock. So that is pretty much that on the embellishing, except I'm thinking that something needs to be up by those hearts. So I have pulled out some cork shapes that came with the Smarty Pants workshop a long time ago. And I just love them because it's kind of adding that cork, much like that bulletin board pattern paper. It's adding that element and just another texture on this layout, which I love. So I'm going to adhere down some large stars and some small stars. Just kind of make sure that those are in groups of 3, and I'm really liking how that turned out. So let's take a close-up look at some of these elements. You can see here the books, and then the stars, and then that title. And then again, when you pull on this photo strip, you'll be able to see some hidden photos as well as just to have that interaction. I do plan on using a side load memory protector. And then, of course, this cute little backpack that I've made using the thin cut. And when you open that up, I've used some pattern paper that has lines. And that is where I will do some of that hidden journaling. So that is a look at the layout. I'll leave everything linked down below. Make sure you follow me on social media to see these finished layouts once I get our back to school photos processed. Again, don't forget that this is a collab with the creative design team. So you can click on the CDT playlist to take a look at everyone's layouts. And again, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you liked what you saw, leave me a comment and a thumbs up. And if you aren't already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and sign up for notifications. Thanks and have a wonderful weekend.